Yo, what is up guys? In today's video, I gave every new gun that came with the Maliwan Takedown to the Digiclone. So this is the second episode in my double barrel series. I'm going to be rating all of them and telling you what I think about all of them. The footage isn't in any special order, it's just in the order I tried them in. But at the end of the video, I'm definitely going to tell you what my top picks are. Before we get into the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more Borderlands 3, Mayhem 4, Zane builds, and join the Zane Nation Discord. Link will be in a pinned comment down below. Just so you guys know, all this footage is taken on Mayhem 4 on Athenas, so keep that in mind for my ratings. A lot of these guns would definitely do so much better on Mayhem 3, especially the first one I'm going to talk about, and that one is the Moonfire. I gotta say, I don't think this gun is super great on the Digiclone in Mayhem 4, just because of all the extra health and stuff they have. As you can see in some of the footage here, I'm not sure maybe if you can see it while I'm talking, but the clone can hit as high as 30k headshots. He does get the amped shot on every third shot, and he does shoot it pretty well. I know the clone AI sucks for a lot of guns, but it was pretty good with the Moonfire. That's really all I'm going to say about it. The damage wasn't great, and it doesn't have any extra special effects that the clone can at least take advantage of. So overall for Mayhem 4, I'm only going to be giving this one a 5 out of 10. Next, I gave my clone the Crader's, the new doll SMG. Everyone loves this thing. I think this thing's pretty cool too. What's great about it is the clone actually shoots it pretty well. Mine was a ×2 version, so that might affect the damage. Personally, I actually don't like the ×2s for myself because you have to reload them so much. But what's great is with Boom Enhance, the clone reloads super quickly, so that didn't stop him here. He shoots it really well. He gets a lot of freezing with Brain Freeze. Another thing is, like, this is a doll weapon. Usually the clone is really good with doll weapons in general, but he shoots it nice. He does pretty decent damage with it compared to a lot of other stuff, and this is just a good weapon to have on you in general. I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. I liked using it. Like I said, the clone triggers Brain Freeze a lot and can freeze a lot of enemies, and the damage wasn't that bad. So, like I said, 7 out of 10. Pretty cool. Next, we've got the new TDR pistol. It's called the Execute. This one, I think it would only be cool if the clone could actually throw it and give you that secondary effect. Even just using this gun by on your own, the secondary effect is what makes it great. I will say, if you are going to throw this gun and TDR spam with it, the explosions do decent damage. I might actually personally test this gun in other kinds of builds, but on the Digiclone, 1 out of 10. The clone doesn't throw it, unfortunately, so let's move on from that. Next, I gave the Digiclone the Zane'S Eruption. Please don't roast me in the comments. I was never going to be able to say that word. Anyways, this gun I actually liked pretty well. The clone gets the debuff effect when it reloads it. So if you guys don't know, when you reload this gun, it shoots these... It basically shoots these little explosions at enemies. So, oh yeah, and then it also debuffs them. So you do bonus damage to enemies for a couple seconds that get hit by this. This is actually pretty cool. The thing that's bad about it is the clone can actually shoot it for a while before he reloads. He probably reloads maybe 10 to 20 seconds, somewhere in that time. That often with it, but this was really fun in general to use, even just for me as well. I also kind of put 2 and 2 together where you can get the reload animation and you can let the effect happen and then swap guns and swap back, and you can basically spam swap the debuff and then let your clone shoot enemies down and you're both doing the debuff. I don't think the debuff stacks from what I could tell, because like I said, I was spamming this debuff, so if it did stack, they would have been taking a lot more damage. So I don't think it stacks. But the I don't even know what to call it. The bullets from the reload, I guess, they do decent damage. Not anything crazy, but it was super interesting. It was super fun to play with. I think this one has a little bit more potential. I'm not sure maybe if we're missing something in our equation here, but I liked this gun a lot. The fact that the clone also gets the extra ability from it is also really good. I think this is a great utility gun and a great support gun, so I'm going to be giving this one an 8 out of 10. I'm definitely going to have to play with this thing again. Maybe there's a cool build that we can make with our Digiclone. I haven't put out much double barrel builds at all. Usually it's just for utility. Like the only one I can think offhand is the infinite ammo build. So yeah, this one will definitely fall into something there. You guys might definitely see this one in the future. So next, we gave our clone the Juliet's Dazzle. Now, I just want to say, this gun, because of its effect, let me just tell you what the effect is. Basically, what this gun does is you shoot it, and it has to hit something to trigger the effect, but it basically bounces off whatever it hits, and then after a certain amount of time, it kind of explodes like the Torgue stickies. So basically you have to shoot it off of something, and then it bounces, and then after maybe 2 or 3 seconds, it explodes. So this probably is not good on single targets. I kind of want to say this could be like a Lucian's Call for Torgue weapons. I wasn't really able to get in the right scenario to really test the full potential of this weapon. I think it might have more potential. The thing is, since I couldn't get as much damage from it, I think the explosions do more damage than the shot itself when it bounces. Look out for this gun. Someone in the comments tell me if you've tested with this gun. I'm only going to give it a 6 out of 10 for now. If I didn't think it had potential, I'd probably give it a lower rating, but the initial shot of it isn't terrible damage, and like I said, I think it has some cool potential. So maybe we can find out later. Moving on, we gave our clone the good Juju. Now, I believe the effect of this gun is that it reloads on kill, so the clone probably wouldn't usually get a huge benefit from that effect because the clone reloads really fast anyway. Now, the clone shoots this gun really well, and because it's a dual weapon, like I said, the clone usually shoots dual weapons really well. I actually can't wait for the dual episode of Double Barrel. That's going to be really fun, because I've been wanting to play with a lot more dual weapons in general. Anyways, though, this gun, I don't know if it's just the base damage of this gun, but the clone didn't seem like it was doing a bunch of damage with this weapon, unfortunately. And that's really all there is to it. Like I said, it shoots it really well, but it just seemed really underpowered. I'm only going to be giving this one a 5 out of 10. Moving on to the Redistributor. This gun in general seems really cool. I think I already have a build in mind I'm going to test this gun with. So this is a great gun. Look out for this one. Unfortunately, the clone does not shoot it right. He literally shoots like 3 shots, and then he stops for like 5 seconds, and then shoots 3 more shots. It's awful. Don't give this one to the clone, but I do have to say this gun has potential. I'm not sure if it's fully good yet. I gotta test it with the build I have in mind. But on the clone, 1 out of 10, because he totally just doesn't shoot it right, unfortunately. On to the next one. We gave our clone the Tankman's Shield. This is a really cool sniper. I'm pretty sure you actually get it from Captain Trant on Athenas, where we're at. So the clone actually shoots this exactly how you would want him to. He shoots it really fast. It does some pretty okay damage. It's definitely not bad in my opinion. And you can get this thing in almost any element, so it's pretty cool. The only unfortunate thing is it didn't seem to really do anything special beyond that. But the fact that he shoots it like extremely well, like this, like he could have shot this thing a lot worse, like honestly. But I don't think it's anything special, so I only gave it a 6 out of 10. Next, we gave our clone the Tiggs Boom. Now, I just want to say off the bat, this one seems like it can definitely become super interesting. Apparently this is bugged and it's supposed to spawn a meteor. I just heard that from someone. I think there's also a Jolts video talking about it. If this thing gets fixed and does spawn meteors, this is going to be amazing with the Digiclone. Most likely, I can't confirm that because obviously it's not fixed right now. But in general, right now, I think I was actually a bit impressed with this gun. I don't want to say the damage was great because it wasn't, but the thing is, this thing has a huge amount of pellets and a really large spread. The clone freezes enemies like so easily with it. I think this is actually a great utility weapon. I think if you give your clone a shock version of this, he'll definitely delete like all enemy shields with it. He'll also get a ton of freezes with it. And then, like I said, if this thing is supposed to spawn a meteor, someone tell me if I'm wrong about that in the comments. I didn't actually watch the Jolts video, but I saw people talking about it. But if this is actually supposed to spawn a meteor and they fix it, I can definitely see this thing potentially becoming absolutely nuts. So hold on to these guns. From what I've heard, they're supposed to do some crazy things on top of that. But in its current state, I actually rate this a 7 out of 10. Like I said, the damage isn't the best, but I think if you give him a shock version, let him get rid of the shields, he'll freeze a ton of enemies with it. He actually shoots it really well. So yeah. Next, I gave my clone the Deathgrip. This is that really cool shotgun you can farm from Troy. Unfortunately, just from testing, from giving it to the clone, this thing is unfortunately really bad. It has awful range. It's like a flacker, but just even less range. And even when it was finally hitting enemies, the damage it put out was not worth it. If this thing was really hard to hit, but it did insane damage when it hit, I would say maybe try this out, but I just don't think, at least with the Digiclone, I can't say with me shooting it, it didn't seem much greater from myself personally shooting it, but there could be some secretly cool things about this gun. I wouldn't necessarily just throw these out. But with the Digiclone, I gotta rate this 2 out of 10. It did not impress me in the slightest. And finally, the last gun, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, this is actually the best on the list in my opinion, especially if you're playing a clone barrier build. This is the Kibsworth. This is a really cool gun. If you're playing clone barrier, like I said, I would actually replace your Cutsman with this gun because the clone shoots this really well. He gets a lot of freezes with brain freeze because he aims directly for the heads. This one, I think, actually did the most damage compared to the rest of the guns too, from what I could tell. So yeah, I don't want to say it's anything completely insane, but he did really good damage. The other really cool thing about it is when he does get kills, he spawns those healing fields, and that's one big issue with the clone barrier build is that it doesn't have salvation in it, so it doesn't have a lot of self-healing built in. If you're playing Calm Cool Collected with a clone, I think you should replace your Cutsmans with this gun, because when you get kills with it, you can get that healing barrier. It's not a bad replacement anything. One thing I gotta mention for you guys is whatever the first element is listed is the only element the clone can shoot with. He can't swap modes on it, so whatever the first element is, that's what the clone's going to be stuck with. So keep that in mind while farming for this gun if you want a certain element for your Digiclone to shoot. But like I said, when he gets kills with it, he spawns those healing fields. When you get kills with it, you'll spawn the healing fields, and it'll definitely help you in that aspect, in that build specifically. I haven't put out a Calm Cool Collected clone build yet because, in my opinion, I haven't found a great one. But when I start working on that build a lot more, when I really want to make, when I really take a day or two to focus on that build and try to make it really good, I'm definitely going to be including this gun, at least during testing. I'll see if the healing fields are really worth it, but I think it's definitely a good place to start. So anyways, guys, like I said, my top pick from all the Maliwan Takedown guns to give to your clone is the Kibsworth. Not only did it do the best damage, I think, from what I could tell, I think it did actually do the best damage. But the utility of it, the healing, I think the Digiclone is really good for utility, like double barrel. If you can find some insanely good utility effects on weapons, that's usually what's really good to give to your Digiclone. That's why the Face Puncher is so prominent in Digiclone builds. Most people just give it the Face Puncher. But that's it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm glad to be back. I took a couple days off because I was sick. Maybe you still hear it in my voice. But I got a bunch of content planned for the next couple weeks. So you guys will be seeing a lot from me. Anyways, guys, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more Borderlands 3, Mayhem 4, Zane builds, and leave a comment down below. And join the Zane Nation Discord. You know, gotta shout out everything. But that's it from me, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.